Well, our heroes are really up in the air this time. Searching for mooseberries, a secret ingredient for their rocket fuel formula, they wound up on board a plane piloted by Boris Badenov. His partner, Natasha, fastened them into their seats with one-way belts and then bailed out. In the pilot's compartment, Boris gleefully smashed all the instruments, threw out the steering wheel, and prepared to follow Natasha.
I hate to leave a place that holds such pleasant memories.
But at that moment, the damaged radio crackled and a voice said,
"Calling Boris Badenov, this is Central Control. You reading me?
Yes, fearless leader.
Plans are changed. Moose must finish finding formula. Do not, repeat, do not kill Moose."
Make up your mind.
What was that?
I said yes, fearless leader.
And Boris dashed back into the cabin just as all three engines conked out.
Hey, Captain, give us a hand here.
Well, something seems to be the trouble.
Get us out of these belts. They're stuck.
Of course.
How come the engine stopped?
Oh, because we're going to land.
Well, how come we're landing?
Because the engine stopped, you nice little chap.
We better jump for it.
Right, Rocky, let's go!
Wait!
No, Bullwinkle, I can glide down, but you need a parachute.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Moose has got to be saved. Here, take mine.
Wouldn't think of it.
Take it! I insist.
Well, thanks.
Come on, Bullwinkle.
You're sure you don't need it?
No, we got lots of others that I just threw overboard. Oh, Boris, why didn't you become violinist like Mama wanted?
And while our heroes floated earthward, the plane bearing Boris sank lower and lower. And finally came to rest on a tall tree. The tree was already occupied.
Oh, there you are, darling. I thought you'd never get here.
Me too.
Hello up there. You all right, Ace?
Certainly. We always land this way. It saves wear and tear on the wheels.
A short time later, after our boys had rescued the two spies from their precarious perch,
Ace, I think you and Miss Callahan better head back for town while Bullwinkle and I push on to...
To where?
Never mind. He's just a little too curious to suit me, Bullwinkle.
Curious? He's downright odd.
Quickly, Natasha. We must follow them.
and the two spies began trailing our boys through the woods.
Let's see now. As I remember, Mooseberry Island is right this way. Yup, there it is.
But look!
Well, this was a fine how have you been. Mooseberry Island was surrounded by barbed wire and warning signs.
Keep out Mooseberry Blight. Quarantine.
Gee, the whole island's off limits.
Well, there must be one healthy bush on that island. But how do we get to it?
Well, little barbed wire isn't going to stop Bullwinkle J. Moose. I got a scheme.
Quickly, Bullwinkle outlined his plan. He would enter the water above the island, swim with the current till he reached it, find a healthy bush, and then swim back below the island.
Now you're sure it'll work, Bullwinkle.
Of course it will. I've thought of every little thing. Except one.
What's that?
I can't swim!
And Bullwinkle was carried off by the swift current. Unfortunately, there was another thing that he hadn't figured on. Right below Mooseberry Island was deadly thundering falls. And before Rocky could move, Bullwinkle was swept over the edge. Be with us next time for Bullwinkle's Water Follies or Antlers Away.
And now it's time
For 5 or 6 baritone solos in the key of E.
But
Ooh.
now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
All set for today's lesson, Junior?
Yeah, Pop.
And here it comes, right over the old plate. A monarch cannot hope to please everyone. Got it?
Oh, yeah, Pop.
And that brings us to our story, which is, how shall I put it?
A gasser?
The cat's meow. And it's all about, trouble here. You brought the wrong scroll, Junior. This one is in Sanskrit. Can't read Sanskrit, boy.
It's upside down, Pop.
It is. Oh, of course. Good eye, son. Yeah. Now, today we hear all about the lion and the mouse. The lion, you know, is the king of the beasts, monarch of all he surveys, or at any rate he was until one day.
Hey! Who did that?
I did.
Oh. Hey! Did you do that again?
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep right on doing it.
What for?
Because as a king of the beasts, you're a flop.
Oh.
Look at you. You're a mess. Look at that. Your hair's coming out by the handsful. And your teeth will be doing the same thing any day. Let me hear you roar. Just as I thought, only 30 feet. You win this shot. You're a disgrace.
What should I do?
What else? Abdicate.
Abdicate? What's that mean?
Roughly translated, it means get another job.
But the only thing I know is kinging.
Look, Simba, let's face it. Everybody knows that a king is supposed to be brave.
I got you there, Because when it comes to fear, I don't know the meaning of the word.
Is that so?
That is so.
We'll see about that. You see the big gorilla over there? See the gorilla? You go over and, kick him.
All right, you just watch this. Psst. Hey, listen, buddy. I'm going to play a joke on a friend. Here's the plan. I'm going to kick you just a little, see? But don't you get mad, 'cause I'm only kidding. See? Funny? Funny? Oh, wait, no, please. Wait. I told you it was just a joke. It's a joke. Don't you get it?
Eh? He didn't hear you, fearless leader.
All right. Just give me one more chance. That's all. Just one.
Okay, but remember, you asked for it. Kings are supposed to be kind.
Stop right there. You have found the real me. I'm as kind as they come. Oh, look. A tiny baby eagle has fallen from its nest.
Well, there's your chance to be kind. Take the baby eagle and return it to its nest.
Where is the nest?
Up there.
Up there? Wouldn't it be kinder to let him grow up here and fly back?
I thought you was that kind.
Determined to prove that he was not that kind, the lion picked up the baby eagle and started off to climb the mountain. The climb was a little difficult for him, but he finally reached the nest at the tip-top of the mountain.
There you go, little feller. I bet your mommy sure will be grateful to me. How's this?
Hey, that's one of the kindest acts I've ever seen. Oh, you sure surprised me.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised myself. Ooh.
Well, I guess that does it. Are you ready to admit that you're not fit to be a king?
Look here, Mouse. I may not be wise and all that other stuff, but I got one quality you have not touched upon. I am generous.
Big-hearted, huh?
I got a heart as big as all outdoors. Bigger.
Okay, here's your chance to prove it. Look.
Let's go home, Freddy. 2 months we've been out here, we still haven't been able to trap one lion.
I hate to go home empty-handed, Barney, but I guess you're right.
Well, are you really generous?
To a fault. Now, is this generous or is this generous?
Okay, you're generous. But of course you realize that now that you're leaving, you can no longer be king of the jungle.
I know, and boy, it's the smartest thing I ever done.
So we'll need another king right away.
Any suggestions?
Just one, Leo, baby.
Yes, sirree, Bob. In 2 minutes, the animals had a new king, and in 3 minutes, he was in trouble, too.
You lazy lout, you quit the slobbing around, you get back to work right away, you hear me?
And so from that time on, it was bim, bang, boom for the poor mouse of a king. He never had another peaceful day. Pretty meaningful, huh?
Oh, yeah, Pop. The moral of the story is...
Yeah, go ahead, boy.
If you're gonna be king, you gotta expect to get crowned.
Gotta be expected. You're a good boy, Junior.
Well, disaster has dogged the footsteps of our heroes in their search for mooseberries, the missing ingredient for their rocket fuel. First of all, they found that the one mooseberry bush was strictly off limits due to the mooseberry blight. And then finally, Bullwinkle's clever plan to make a swimming raid on the island went slightly awry when he neglected just one little detail.
I can't swim!
A moment later, Bullwinkle had disappeared over thundering falls.
Bullwinkle!
As Rocky raced toward the falls, those sly spies, Boris and Natasha, watched from a distance.
Is moose kaput, darling?
No. Look there. He's caught in bush.
Not for long. Do we try to save him or let him go?
Which was last orders from headquarters?
You took message, darling.
But they sent so many. Quickly, get me central control.
But while Boris and Natasha tried to get their orders on whether or not to go to Bullwinkle's aid, the intrepid squirrel was already high in a tree next to the falls, carrying a long rope which he tied to a tree limb.
Bullwinkle, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I'm up in this tree.
You sure picked a fine time for sightseeing.
No, wait. I'm going to glide down with a rope.
Okay.
And the plucky squirrel, trailing the rope behind him, launched himself into space. Down he zoomed across the face of Thundering Falls and right to Bullwinkle.
Nice flying, Rock.
But at that instant, the bush tore loose.
Hang on, Bullwinkle.
And with great exertion of mighty moose muscle, Bullwinkle did hang on, as he, Rocky, and the bush swung back to the safety of the shore.
Made it. Were you scared, Bullwinkle?
Shucks, no. I was as cute as a cucumber, Rocky.
Bullwinkle, I'm over here. That's the bush you're talking to.
Imagine me not knowing my best friend from a mooseberry bush.
Bullwinkle? Say that again.
All right.
No, before that. You said this was a...
Just a mooseberry. Mooseberry!
Bullwinkle, you did it! You found the last available mooseberry bush in the country.
Just my keen eyeballs, I guess.
Meanwhile, the two spies had just contacted their superiors overseas.
I tell you, I sent whole tank full of rocket fuel by submarine to main seaport.
Well, now it's missing.
The tank or the rocket fuel?
The seaport.
Oh, so now I kill moose, right?
No, you idiot. Get the formula and return home. We got special reception planned for you.
Okay, over and out.
Now we gotta get this bush back to Washington, Bullwinkle.
Yeah, before it catches the mooseberry blight.
But at last we got the secret ingredient.
Secret ingredient?
Come on, Rocky, let's start hiking.
Hold on there, gentlemen.
Who are you?
Special Agent, FPI.
You mean FBI?
No, FPI, Federal Plant Inspector. You got any peaches, pears, pineapples, passion fruit, papayas, or mooseberries?
Well, it just so happens.
Aha, a mooseberry bush. And, it's crawling with mooseberry blight.
It is?
This plant must be sprayed right away, quick.
Now, wait a minute, you can't...
There's no charge.
Oh, that's all right then.
So the inspector sprayed and sprayed until not a thing could be seen. And when the cloud cleared away, both the bush and the inspector were gone.
Boy, that's what I call a powerful spray.
Well, what has happened to our mooseberry bush? And does this mean failure to our friends?
Heck no! We're the heroes.
Don't miss our next episode, The Inspector Detectors, or A Kick in the Plants.
And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Ooh, don't know my own strength.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like. Now here's our own tribute to the arts, Bullwinkle's Corner.
Hello there. Today's poem is called My Shadow. Okay, Rock. Thank you. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He stays so close behind me, he's a coward, you can see. I'd think shame to stick to Nursey like... All right, wise guy, put him up, put him up. Anytime a dang busted shadow gets flipped with me... Ooh! Okay, you've been asking for it. Ooh. Well, I still got my secret weapon. Okay, Rocky, turn off the light. Oh, fiddle faddle.
And now it's time...
Time for that jolly juggler, Bullwinkle.
Oh, dear.
3 at once. 1, 2...
And now here's a feature you're sure to like.
3.
At the close of the 19th century, Canada was overrun with Canadians and smugglers. The best Canadian, but the worst smuggler was Snidely Whiplash. Whiplash and his band of smugglers were traveling through Canada as a band of musicians. Unfortunately, his music was very bad.
Of course it's bad. Not only are my boys tone deaf, but their instruments are filled with stolen furs.
Yes, that was how the arch-criminal smuggled furs out of Canada. But like all lawbreakers, he had yet to reckon with the mounted police. You are looking at the pride of that noble force, our hero, Dudley Do-Right. And this is Dudley Do-Right's horse. The apple of Dudley's eye was the beautiful yet unpredictable Nell Fenwick. Dudley loved Nell. Unfortunately, she loved his horse.
But, Nell, why won't you marry me?
Because you are too good, Dudley.
For you, Nell, I would rotten up.
The Mountie post was under the command of Inspector Fenwick, Nell's father.
Send Constable Do-Right in here and tell him to hurry.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, I did, Do-Right. Snidely Whiplash is attempting to smuggle furs over the border into the United States. I shall need an undercover man to join him and expose his evil plan.
Let's send Nell, sir.
My daughter, no, Do-Right. We have to send a mounted.
Then you go, sir.
I have to watch the store. You're the man, Do-Right.
But, Inspector, my reputation, Whiplash would never let me join him.
Yes, your record is spotless. We shall have to dirty it somewhat. Here's my plan. You shall commit a disgraceful act, get thrown out of the service, and become a bad guy.
Thus it was that 1 hour later, Constable Dudley Do-Right, the man who could do no wrong, set fire to the Alberta Hotel.
Do-Right, are you responsible for this Holocaust?
Why, yes, I am.
Well, congratulations, my boy. This hotel was condemned last year, and we've been wondering how to tear it down. You'll be decorated for this.
Do right, you idiot. Don't do right, do wrong.
Dam! Somebody blew up the dam! Would you mind holding this plunger until the police get here and arrest me?
Constable Do-Right has already admitted that it was he who dynamited the dam. Yes, in one brilliant stroke, the problem of irrigating our valley has been solved.
Do-Right, have you ever been assassinated?
But, Inspector, I have been trying.
Well, then don't try.
And that did the trick. At mess that evening, Dudley ate his peas with a knife, something no Mountie would ever do, and consequently was drummed out of the service with a dishonorable discharge.
Do-Right, you're a disgrace to your underwear. Good work, my boy. Now join up with Snidely Whiplash.
Farewell, Nell. Perhaps we'll meet again.
But, Dudley, why must your horse go with you? After all, you ate the peas.
Yes, but with his knife. Adios, Nell.
1 week later, in a border town ballroom.
So you're a musician, eh?
Yes.
Can you read music?
No.
You're hired.
Dudley brought out an alpine horn and proceeded to captivate the audience. But during the 33rd chorus of Wabash Cannonball, the tuba player started spraying furs all over the bandstand.
Whiplash, the jig is up. You are under arrest. Drop that tuba.
And the tuba player did on Dudley.
In exactly 5 minutes, Do-Right, my men, the furs, and I will be safely across the border. You too will be crossing the border at a much higher altitude.
4 minutes and 59 seconds later, Snidely Whiplash and his men were about to set foot across the border when...
Halt! You are under arrest.
Egad, Do-Right, how did you escape?
I didn't, Whiplash. There are 2 of us. The one you left tied up back there in the shack was my horse, in a Dudley suit. And here he comes now! Good work, horse.
Good work, Do-Right. You not only saved the furs and captured the smugglers, but you got their ringleader, Snidely Whiplash. Oh, no, you didn't.
Snidely, how did you escape?
There are 2 of us. Have you got your horse's knife on you, Do-Right?
Yes, sir.
Then go eat peas. You've got to do it all over again.
Let's send Nell, sir.
We can't. She's not a Mountie.
Then you go.
Well, sir, our heroes are still in a slump in their efforts to bring back a mooseberry bush. For in our last episode, the wily Boris disguised himself as a plant inspector and sprayed the last mooseberry bush in the country. When the cloud of spray was gone, so was the inspector and so was the bush.
Boy, that's what I call a powerful spray. Didn't leave leaf nor whisker of either of them.
Well, there goes our last chance of getting a mooseberry bush back to Washington.
You mean...
Yeah, we failed. What's that?
Oh, it's just some Indians gone by in a canoe.
But if that canoe had been closer, the boys would have seen that it didn't hold Indians at all, but Boris and Natasha, and between them, the mooseberry bush. But Rocky and Bullwinkle were too concerned with how to get back to Washington.
Can't fly back. Our plane's crashed.
Check.
Can't walk back. Takes too long.
Check.
Can't go by boat. Haven't got a boat.
Check. Wait a minute. Sure, we got a boat.
We have?
Yeah, right up in that fir tree.
Oh, sure, Rocky. Poor kid's been in the woods too long. He's fur crazy.
No, look.
Rocky, that's our wrecked aeroplane.
Not for long. Come on.
And so a short time later...
You see, Natasha? It's like taking candy from baby.
You know, darling, I have funny feeling we're being followed.
Followed? Who could follow us? We stole the only canoe on the river. It's just
Sure enough, they were being followed. Rocky and Bullwinkle had turned their smashed aeroplane into a boat, and the plane's propellers made excellent double-bladed paddles.
They're gaining on us.
Like taking candy from baby, huh?
You ever tried to take candy from baby? It's pretty hard.
But Rocky and Bullwinkle, with no telescope, didn't know that they were so close to their goal. They'd have been even more dejected had they known what was coming, for just around the next bend in the river, Boris was planning a rather unpleasant surprise.
There, this should get rid of those two idiots.
But your last instructions say do not kill moose.
Who's killing moose? I'm just chopping down tree. It's my fault he happens to be underneath.
Shh, here they come.
And Boris started the huge tree on its way down.
You aren't even going to holler timber?
Of course I am. Listen. Timber.
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. Look.
The enormous tree hurtled down at our heroes. But unfortunately for Boris, it was just a little too big. It fell all the way across the river and hit a cliff on the other side. But the force of its falling snapped it in two, and half the tree drove through the bottom of Rocky's makeshift canoe.
We're leaking, Rocky. How are we going to get rid of that thing?
We're not, Bullwinkle. That's a mast.
With pine cones on it?
Sure. The wind blowing through the tree makes it act like a big sail.
Well, I'll be a moose.
You are a moose.
Yeah, I wanted something easy.
We'll be in Washington in no time.
Yup, if we don't sink first.
So with Rocky in the crow's nest and Bullwinkle at the tiller, the strange craft sped down the river.
Natasha, this requires quick thinking and positive action.
What we're going to do?
Run like rabbits. Come on.
And a moment later, Boris's canoe started downriver with a furious burst of speed.
Faster, Natasha, faster. Stroke, stroke, stroke.
And so began the strangest boat race ever held, the cross-country canoe contest from Minnesota to Washington, D.C. Will our boys catch up with the spies before their sort of boat sort of sinks? Don't miss our next episode, Canoes Who, or Look Before You Leak.